So Ray Fiennes is just a fantastic actor. He's probably like an even cooler guy, 2022's The Menu was one of my favorite movies that year, but he's just so cool. Like he always plays damn good roles, or he always is in interesting movies, and just he always does pretty cool stuff, right? So when I had heard him that he was going to be in this movie The Return, and I had first saw the pictures from it, I thought he was like Jesus or something, because I was like, oh shit, like he's gonna play Jesus, and like Jesus' return from something, I don't know. And then I realized when I had read up on it, I was like, oh no, it's not. It's actually the story of Homer's Odyssey, right? The story of King Odysseus coming back home from the Trojan War after winning the war, and getting back to his kingdom of Ithaca to find it ruined and overrun by suitors and vagabonds and thieves trying to take over his land or marry his wife and kill his son, and him just infiltrating them. And then the whole story of the queen putting all the axes in with the hole through it, 12 axes, and there, she says, if any of you can string my king's bow, like you will be my king. And of course none of them can do it, but Odysseus sneaks in as a beggar, and he's like, let the beggar try. And then he tries, obviously, and does it, and then proceeds to massacre everybody. I mean, it's a story as old as time. It's awesome, and this movie portrayed it pretty damn well. Right? I mean, it was awesome. I mean, let me do the praising first, because it was a good movie. The set design, the character design, the dialogue, everything was just awesome, right? Like it was just a fun period piece film. In my opinion, it was just well shot, well done, well executed. The whole ending massacre scene with Ray Fiennes, all buff 60-year-old good looking Ray Fiennes, when he's like, and he's just bowing everybody down, like that was awesome. It was so good. And again, you already know the story, so when it's leading up to it, like it's such a thrilling, anxiety inducing scene, the way it all builds up. And then when he starts killing everybody, like it's so satisfying, because the movie builds up all these suitors as straight assholes, and you just can't wait for them to die. Like you already know they're all gonna die. But Ray Fiennes, again, fantastic actor. He played Odysseus pretty well, but my only critique would be really his portrayal of Odysseus, like the real Odysseus, right? The whole film, pretty much, it starts off with him washing up onto the shores of Ithaca, but you assume that he has amnesia or something, right? Like he doesn't know who he is, where he is, and then very quickly you realize, oh no, he doesn't have amnesia. Maybe he didn't quite know where he was right away, but now that he does, he knows exactly who he is and where he is. But I've seen Troy, right? You remember Troy? And Sean Bean playing Odysseus, he was way like cunning. He was a cunning, smooth, smart talking, sophisticated man. And it's like, I would have loved to see Ray Fiennes portraying that in like flashbacks, or something, flashbacks or anything that just shows pieces of why, or pieces of the war where you can kind of more or less relate to why he's feeling how he feels the whole movie. Because the whole movie, he's just, not feeling like he's worthy of his family or like his kingdom, right? Like he's done things and he's experienced things in this war that have changed him as a man, right? And he feels like his people won't want to follow him because he didn't return with his men, with their husbands, their sons. He feels like his wife would never forgive him because of all the cruel acts he's done to women and children. He hasn't been there for his son. He never saw his son be born, let alone grow up. So he just has all these fears and doubts on who he is. But it's like, I would have loved to see flashbacks of who he was, right? Like, so you could see the man that he was before, the man that his wife fell in love with, the man that should be able to take care of his son, because he is a badass. He portrays himself as a badass throughout the middle end of the movie. But the battle scene in Troy, when they come out of the horse and everything, I mean, he's the one that came up with that idea. Like, that scene is fantastic. It's a classic cinema scene of just the brutality that, that war was, I mean, it's horrible, but it's like, I wish they would have shown flashbacks in this movie of Ray Fiennes as a younger, or, not de-aged, because I love that he's just himself, but, just, they could have showed him doing things in the war, or like, parts of like just things happening to give him like that PTSD of like, oh my God, like I can never be forgiven. It's crazy. So, I mean, again, it was a great movie. I enjoyed it. I suggest y'all watch it. That's what acting and filmmaking is all about. I just wish they would have shown more of the real Odysseus, and then even at the end, he's still like kind of like not quite forgiven himself. And I thought it was gonna end with him in like his armor and like being king again, but it just kind of ends. And I was like, it's still good though. I would still say a solid like, you know, 8 out of 10 film. It was fantastic. I would say go watch it, and just, you know, it's like I said, it's a story as old as time. And I didn't realize that they made Troy the Odyssey back in 2017. It's like a soft remake of after Troy, but I think they should have did a sequel after Troy and had Sean Bean, you know, be Odysseus if that's the case, because in this movie Odysseus is so cheesy, like it's all cheesy fights and stuff. I guess it's like I don't know if it's supposed to be a TV show or a movie, but like I saw the fight scenes and I was like, wow. It was pretty cheesy. So considering what this movie is a lot better than that, you know, way better. But yeah, so I suggest to go check it out. The Return, it's fantastic. The whole cast is great. Like I said, the acting and the just set design and everything of the film feels so natural and just real. It's great film. But yeah, this has been Ghost in the Craig. Thanks so much for tuning in. Like, share, and subscribe. We're in the end of the holidays, people. Christmas is a couple weeks away, so woo, feeling the joys coming in. Oh, the weather outside is frightful, and I'm having no place to go. Let it snow, let it snow, let it snow.